Play dates are supposed to be fun, but without the right planning, they can go from delightful to disastrous. Parenting expert Stacy Debroff of Mom Central is here with some play date advice. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning, Maggie.
I've got a 4-year-old daughter. We do like 4 play dates a week, and I haven't had any problems, but I think that's because we don't just drop her off and leave. Someone always stays. You say we're supposed to, etiquette calls for us to drop off the kids and leave?
When kids enter around kindergarten, they no longer want you hanging out, and also they're making friends with kids that you don't know the parents. And so after that 10-minute drop-off, the other mom's looking at you saying, so, see you in an hour and a half?
Okay,
and
so
that's when things go awry.
And these are tips for after you start dropping off your kids at play dates.
Exactly.
You say we should know the who, what, where, when, and how. Let's start with who. Who are these people? How do you recommend we feel out these parents that we're leaving our kids with?
Sometimes we really don't know the parents, and it can be awkward, but you want to ask key questions. You want to ask them what kind of videos do they allow, how much computer, maybe your child only watches PG movies and you don't want them coming home saying, I saw the best R-rated movie ever, Mom. And even awkward questions. If you feel uncomfortable, if you've had incidents saying, do you have a gun in the house? There's some tough questions to ask people.
It's the safety of your child. You have to ask everything.
And sometimes you don't even realize. One of my kids went on a play date and it turns out that the dad was a drug addict. I had no idea.
And the dad was there?
The dad was the singular host of the play date. And that's the kind of things you think, this is never going to happen. I don't know how I could have asked that question to my But it is this sense that you don't know who you're dropping off with.
The point is find out as much as you can about these parents. What should parents be sure to avoid?
You want to watch out things that will trip up a play date. For example, if a younger sibling is there or older sibling, it can really shift the dynamics. So you drop off your kindergarten child and there's an older 8th grade sibling and they're up to all sorts of things, or a younger sibling intervenes, or triangulation. Always avoid 3 kids being dropped off at a play date. There's always an odd man out.
Why? I never thought of that.
Because 2 will always bond together, and the third, there's always will end up being a third child who feels left out of the play.
I never thought of that. Okay, where is the ideal place for a first play date?
I'm biased, but I think it's always your house.
Oh, amen.
Home court advantage.
Yes.
You know your rules, you trust yourself, you can get a sense of the personality of the child, how the dynamic is with your child, how it's working out, so you really get to see it, and also you set the ground rules. And there's something very comforting. One time my son came home and said, Mom, I had the best play date. Of course, I spent it on the roof of this child's house. And the mom said, I just had no idea. I thought they were so happy. Yes, they were happy, but
because
they were on the roof of a 3rd-story house.
Oh my gosh.
The death play date.
All right, when you're hosting, when is it necessary to end a play date?
I think that you don't want to end up disciplining other people's kids. You want to stop dangerous and destructive behavior, but when the play date falls apart and we all have them unravel, whether it's chemistry or bad behavior, either by your child or the visiting child. I've had kids swing bats and break doors in my hallway.
Then it's time to go.
It's time to go, and you just call a heart out.
Okay.
You just say, it's time to go. I'm calling your mom. This play date's over. Stop. Or you put them in an activity that's very passive and say, why don't you watch a video, but as soon as your parent comes, we're ending the play date.
Okay, lastly, and I think this is important, how do you give your child an out? Should you have like a code that tells you your child is not comfortable in that play date?
It definitely is a great idea to give your child a way to tell you they're uncomfortable, they don't like the sleepover, they don't like the rules of the house, something is making them feel unhappy, the tension has risen with the other child. And so you want to give them a code so that they don't embarrass themselves on the phone, but they say, Mom, are you running errands? And you say,
that'll be your code for let's go.
In fact, I am. I'm coming by your house.
All right, Stacy Debroff, thank you.
Thank you
Really,
so
really
much.
good advice. Appreciate it.